also see, I called two people coincidentally. Now the first one, the baby, I could hear a cry behind the call or the scene, and I was wondering, I didn't really pay much attention to that. My mind wasn't really fixated on the first cry of the baby. Now in the course of the day, I had to call a second mother, and the way the baby was crying, I could feel it and I could sense that it was a serious cry. Let me put it this way. And so I asked the mom, what is really wrong? Because I that am on the other end, I could really feel it and imagine the mother. And the mother said, I don't even know. And so at this point, the mother has done everything seemingly possible. I'm sure there has been a breast milk trying to put the baby to sleep, and it is of to no avail. Are you getting me? So sometimes we wonder why we do not have a sudden blessing. The grace to carry it is not there. Or sometimes your Aaron, or if it's a woman, let me put it this way, maybe your Aaron is not yet there. So you need to wait for that appointed time. Are you getting it? So I remember when I was a child, and my mom couldn't take it, especially when we're not well. And my second mom, let me put it that way, she's my mother's sister, so my auntie, so she's my second mom, and she was with us most of the time. And so she would sometimes, when one person gets sick, then she has to, because it runs through the other one too, it will continue. We are siblings, so let's say if so and so is sick, then I'm going to lie by so and so, and gradually I also catch the fever or also get sick, so the other one will also fall sick. And so she will line us up and take us to one nurse, we call her mommy nurse, and she will give us injections. And my mom couldn't take it, especially when I'm not well and going through some cramps, and my mom can't come closer to me. And I was wondering why she couldn't come closer to me. And growing up, I understood her more, because sometimes she will come around, she will ask one or two questions, and depending on how you are going to answer, and she would do her face a certain way, and she knows what she is going through, and she will go to go and never come back. She will just pass, you see her passing by, and she wouldn't come back. And I was wondering why she couldn't come back. Let me tell you this, blessings are good, but they are burdensome. That is how I put it. You need a certain kind of grace and strength to carry that burden. It is good to be blessed. It is good to be married. It is good to have children. It is good to have whatever you want to have. But you need that grace. You need that strength. You need that power. You need the grace of God, that strength to carry it. It is good to have children. It is a blessing God blessed from Genesis. It is good to have it. Don't get it twisted. But you haven't gotten your Aaron or your Aaron yet. You haven't gotten that grace yet. If you are alone, maybe that Aaron has to come before. If you are still alone, then maybe that grace has to come, and you need to have it at that appointed time. Are you getting it? At that appointed time. It is good to be blessed, but it comes with a burden. Are you ready to carry that burden? The sleepless nights, the amnesia sometimes, the anxiety that might be accompanied with that blessing. Kadibo sebe, raku zebe de dabosa, kibo sete. And you need to note this. Whatever you pray into, you are going to continue praying when you get it. Don't stop praying. There are many people that when they pray and get that blessing, they stop praying. Prayer is the key. Prayer is the key. When you get that blessing through prayer, its maintenance is going to take prayer. Just as you take money to buy a house or to build a house, you're going to use same money to maintain it. You didn't get that. Just as you took money to buy a car, you are going to take that money to maintain that car. Are you getting it? And so once you pray into marriage, you pray into childbirth, you pray into your blessing, you are going to pray for its maintenance. Prayer doesn't stop. You didn't get that. Have you stopped praying about it? You see, honey attracts bees. In the first place, bees help in the making of honey. So you're getting it. Now, at the end of the day, ants might come around. And other, what it attracts a lot of things, a lot of devourers and destructors whatsoever. It's like during the harvesting season, the farmer would see that some of the fruits have been eaten. They've been eaten by either insects. Oh, they've been eaten up. They've been eaten up by some animals in the forest in the garden. And so they are formed, the way they were formed has been deformed. I want you to get this. You need a prayer. And so you see, sometimes the farmer has to fertilize and spray and do all manner of things. And they have terms for it. And sometimes there should be a fallow period. There should be a fallow period for that land to regain its composure. If you do not have to stop praying. That is why scripture has said in Thessalonians that you need to pray always. And so no matter the times and season you are enjoying, it is sweet. Pray. Don't stop praying. It didn't say when things are sweet, do not pray. When things are sour and bitter, then you can pray. Bible didn't say that. It said pray always. Pray without ceasing. Pray without stopping. Pray in bad and good seasons. Pray no matter the sweetness of the honey, no matter the sour and bitter experiences. You got to pray. Prayer helps in the maintenance of blessings. You prayed into marriage, you're going to pray through it. You pray into children, you're going to pray for your children. You didn't get that. How long have you stopped praying? You are crying about divorce. You are crying that things are not going well. Have you stopped praying? You got to check how often are you going to pray? Because before the blessing, you used to pray, sit in all nights and other nights, half nights and other nights. There are nights that you cry all night. That one, I don't know if it's a crying all night. I mean, there are times that you were crying and crying all night, praying, like talking to God or praying. You don't even know the name of that prayer, whether it is a lamentation or it is a whatever-tation. And now, this time, you have gotten the blessing and your maintenance prayer isn't coming to pass. You got to pray without ceasing. In a sweet, bitter, and sour. Kasibo say, bitter and sour, And so another thing you need to note, you need to be careful of the means you use to get a certain thing. The means you use to get that blessing, the means and the circumstances around it. And if you forced your way, probably through pressure, peer pressure, or pressures from around whatsoever, to get into something, then that same pressure is going to push you to do things. And if you're not careful, your path will be crooked. And so you need to pray that God straightens your path. Straightens your path. Be careful of the means you use to get a blessing, because it's maintenance. It's either you're going to get a good maintenance or a maintenance that is going to worsen that blessing. You didn't get that. You need a maintenance that is going to be, that would last and going to be good for that blessing. But if you use a certain means for that blessing, then it might continue, and so you are going to worsen. Even a maintenance of that thing is going to worsen. It's going to worsen. I pray you get illumination. I pray you get illumination. I pray you get illumination. Kizabo saka. Rakuzeba saka sotada labose. Liko sabo sikiata lia kurianda. Kibose. Kilabo saka la labose. Kisata tada kabosata.
Yeah.